For decades, we've been told that the key to preventing heart disease after 60 is exercise. Hit the gym, walk 30 minutes a day, keep your heart pumping. But what if I told you there's something far more powerful hiding in plain sight? Algo tan simple que la mayoría lo desestima, pero tan efectivo que supera incluso a las rutinas de ejercicio más rigurosas cuando se trata de proteger el corazón. Hoy, quiero compartir con ustedes un hábito diario que ha estado evitando silenciosamente ataques al corazón y accidentes cerebrovasculares en personas mayores, respaldado por investigaciones de vanguardia that's changing everything we thought we knew about cardiovascular health. The traditional approach to heart health after 60 has always focused on movement. Doctors prescribe cardio, fitness experts design senior workout plans, and health articles endlessly promote the benefits of staying active. While exercise certainly has its place, we've been missing something crucial. The most recent cardiovascular research reveals that there's a daily practice that surpasses exercise in its ability to protect aging hearts, yet it requires no gym membership, no special equipment, and takes less time than most people spend checking their phone. Let me paint you a picture that might sound familiar. Margaret, a 67-year-old retired teacher, followed her doctor's advice religiously. Ella caminaba todos los días, asistía a aeróbics acuáticos 3 veces a la semana, e incluso invirtió en una bicicleta de ejercicio para el hogar. Despite her dedication to staying active, her blood pressure remained stubbornly high. Her cholesterol numbers worried her physician, and she found herself increasingly breathless during simple activities. What Margaret didn't know was that while she was focusing on her physical activity, she was completely neglecting the one daily habit that could have transformed her cardiovascular health more effectively than all her exercise combined. The habit I'm referring to is deep, intentional breathing. Not the shallow, unconscious breathing we do throughout the day, but a specific type of controlled breathing that activates powerful physiological changes in your cardiovascular system. This isn't New Age wellness talk or meditation mysticism. This is hard science showing us how a practice as simple as breathing correctly can outperform traditional exercise in preventing heart disease after 60. Here's what happens in your cardiovascular system when you engage in proper breathing techniques. Your autonomic nervous system, which controls your heart rate, blood pressure, and circulation, has 2 main branches. The sympathetic nervous system is your stress response, constantly elevated in our modern world, keeping your heart working overtime. The parasympathetic nervous system is your rest and repair mode, responsible for healing and maintaining optimal cardiovascular function. After age 60, most people live in a chronic state of sympathetic dominance, meaning their hearts are under constant stress, even when they're sitting quietly. Deep, controlado respirar inmediatamente cambia tu sistema nervioso en dominancia parasimpática. Dentro de solo 2 minutos de respiración adecuada, su variabilidad de la frecuencia cardíaca mejora dramáticamente. Heart rate variability is one of the strongest predictors of cardiovascular health and longevity. It measures how well your heart can adapt to different demands, and higher variability indicates a healthier, more resilient cardiovascular system. Exercise can improve heart rate variability over time, but controlled breathing does it instantly and more effectively. The breathing technique that produces these remarkable results is surprisingly simple. It involves inhaling slowly for 4 counts, holding the breath for 4 counts, exhaling slowly for 6 counts, and holding empty for 2 counts. This pattern, repeated for just 10 minutes daily, creates profound changes in your cardiovascular system that accumulate over time. The extended exhale activates your vagus nerve, the main pathway of your parasympathetic nervous system, which directly communicates with your heart. When your vagus nerve is properly stimulated through controlled breathing, several cardiovascular benefits occur simultaneously. Your heart rate becomes more variable and adaptive, your blood pressure drops naturally, your blood vessels dilate and improve circulation, and inflamación a lo largo de su sistema cardiovascular disminuye. These effects are measurable within minutes and become more pronounced with consistent daily practice. Research conducted at major medical institutions has compared the cardiovascular benefits of breathing exercises to traditional exercise programs in adults over 60. The results were startling. While moderate exercise programs showed gradual improvements in blood pressure and cholesterol over several months, controlled breathing protocols produced significant changes in as little as 2 weeks. More importantly, the breathing group showed superior improvements in arterial flexibility, a crucial factor in preventing heart attacks and strokes. Arterial flexibility, or arterial compliance, refers to how well your blood vessels can expand and contract with each heartbeat. As we age, arteries naturally become stiffer, forcing the heart to work harder to pump blood throughout the body. This increased workload leads to high blood pressure, enlarged heart chambers, and eventually heart failure. Exercise helps maintain arterial flexibility to some degree, but it also places additional demands on an aging cardiovascular system. Controlled breathing, however, improves arterial flexibility without any stress on the heart. The mechanism behind this improvement lies in the production of nitric oxide. Deep, rhythmic breathing stimulates the production of nitric oxide in the lining of your blood vessels. Nitric oxide is a powerful vasodilator, meaning it helps blood vessels relax and expand. This reduces the resistance your heart faces when pumping blood, effectively lowering blood pressure and reducing the risk of cardiovascular events. While exercise also stimulates nitric oxide production, it requires significant physical exertion, which can be challenging or even dangerous for some seniors with existing heart conditions. Another cardiovascular benefit of controlled breathing that surpasses exercise is its effect on inflammatory markers. Chronic inflammation is now recognized as one of the primary drivers of heart disease in older adults. This isn't the acute inflammation you experience with an injury, but a low-grade, persistent inflammatory state that damages blood vessel walls and promotes the formation of dangerous arterial plaques. Traditional cardiovascular exercise, while beneficial in many ways, actually increases inflammatory markers temporarily due to the physical stress it places on the body. Controlled breathing, conversely, actively reduces inflammatory markers throughout the cardiovascular system. The parasympathetic activation triggered by proper breathing techniques suppresses the production of inflammatory cytokines while promoting the release of anti-inflammatory compounds. Studies have shown that just 8 weeks of daily breathing practice can reduce C-reactive protein, a key inflammatory marker, by up to 30%. This level of reduction is associated with a significant decrease in heart attack and stroke risk. The timing of when you practice controlled breathing can amplify its cardiovascular benefits. The most effective approach is to engage in this breathing pattern first thing in the morning, before your sympathetic nervous system becomes activated by the stresses of daily life. Morning breathing practice sets a parasympathetic tone that influences your cardiovascular function throughout the entire day. Your resting heart rate remains lower, your blood pressure stays more stable, and your heart rate variability remains elevated even during stressful situations. Evening breathing practice provides different but equally important cardiovascular benefits. Controlled breathing before bed helps your cardiovascular system enter a deeper recovery state during sleep. Durante el sueño predominantemente parasimpático, tu ritmo cardíaco cae a sus niveles más bajos, tu presión arterial disminuye significativamente, y tus sangre vessels undergo important repair processes. Poor sleep quality, characterized by sympathetic dominance even during rest, prevents these crucial cardiovascular recovery processes and significantly increases heart disease risk in seniors. The accessibility of breathing exercises makes them superior to exercise for many seniors dealing with mobility limitations, joint pain, or existing cardiovascular conditions. While traditional exercise recommendations often exclude people with certain health conditions, controlled breathing can be safely practiced by virtually anyone. You can do it sitting in a chair, lying in bed, or even standing. There's no risk of injury, no need for medical clearance, and no expensive equipment required. This doesn't mean exercise is without value for cardiovascular health. Physical activity provides benefits that breathing exercises cannot, such as strengthening the heart muscle itself, improving overall circulation, and maintaining healthy body weight. However, for the specific goal of preventing heart disease in people over 60, controlled breathing provides more direct and immediate cardiovascular protection, with none of the risks associated with exercise in this age group. The compound benefits of daily breathing practice become more apparent over time. While a single exercise session provides temporary cardiovascular benefits that fade within hours, each breathing session builds upon previous sessions, creating lasting changes in your autonomic nervous system function. After just 1 month of consistent practice, most people experience measurable improvements in resting heart rate, blood pressure, and sleep quality. Después de 3 meses, las mejoras en la variabilidad de la frecuencia cardíaca y los marcadores inflamatorios se vuelven sustanciales. Consider the story of Robert, a 72-year-old man who had been struggling with high blood pressure despite taking 3 different medications and manteniendo una rutina de caminar activa. Su cardiólogo estaba considerando añadir una 4ª medicación cuando Robert decidió probar 10 minutos de respiración controlada cada mañana y cada noche. Dentro de 6 semanas, su presión arterial había bajado lo suficiente como para que su médico pudiera reducir una de sus medicaciones. Después de 3 meses, la presión arterial de Robert estaba mejor controlada con respiración y 2 medicamentos que nunca había estado con 3 medicamentos y ejercicio regular. The physiological explanation for why breathing outperforms exercise in heart disease prevention lies in the direct influence on autonomic nervous system balance. Ejercicio. Principalmente trabaja a través de medios mecánicos, fortaleciendo el músculo cardíaco y mejorando la circulación a través de un aumento de la demanda. Breathing works through neurological means, optimizing the control systems that regulate cardiovascular function. When your autonomic nervous system is balanced, your heart functions more efficiently even at rest. Your blood vessels maintain optimal tone, and your entire cardiovascular system operates with less effort and stress. Modern life presents unique challenges for cardiovascular health that exercise alone cannot address. Chronic stress, poor sleep, processed foods, and environmental toxins all contribute to sympathetic nervous system dominance and cardiovascular inflammation. While exercise can temporarily counteract some of these effects, it cannot provide the sustained parasympathetic activation necessary to truly protect against heart disease in our current environment. Only practices that directly influence autonomic nervous system balance, such as controlled breathing, can address these underlying causes of cardiovascular disease. The research supporting breathing exercises for heart disease prevention continues to grow stronger. Recent studies have shown that the cardiovascular benefits of breathing practice are dose-dependent, meaning more practice provides greater protection. However, even modest amounts of daily breathing practice, as little as 5 minutes twice per day, provide measurable cardiovascular benefits that exceed those achieved through moderate exercise programs. Entendiendo la técnica de respiración óptima, asegura que reciba el máximo beneficio cardiovascular. The pattern I mentioned earlier, 4 counts in, 4 counts hold, 6 counts out, 2 counts hold, should be performed with diaphragmatic breathing rather than shallow chest breathing. Place 1 hand on your chest and 1 on your abdomen. Durante la respiración adecuada, la mano en tu abdomen debe subir y bajar, mientras que la mano en tu pecho permanece relativamente inmóvil. This engages your diaphragm fully and maximizes vagus nerve stimulation. The breath should be smooth and controlled, never forced or strained. If the 4-4-6-2 pattern feels too challenging initially, start with a simpler 3-3-4-2 pattern and gradually work up to the full technique. The key is consistency rather than perfection. 10 minutos de respiración cómoda y controlada proporcionarán más beneficio cardiovascular que 5 minutos de respiración forzada e incómoda. Environmental factors can enhance the cardiovascular benefits of your breathing practice. Fresh air, if available, provides optimal oxygen content for your breathing exercises. Natural settings, such as near trees or bodies of water, have been shown to amplify the parasympathetic response to controlled breathing. However, these ideal conditions aren't necessary to receive significant cardiovascular benefits. The practice works equally well indoors, making it accessible regardless of weather, mobility, or location constraints. The long-term implications of daily breathing practice for heart disease prevention are profound. While exercise provides cardiovascular benefits that plateau after a certain point, the autonomic nervous system improvements from breathing practice continue to develop over years of consistent practice. People who maintain daily breathing routines for multiple years show cardiovascular resilience and heart rate variability patterns typically seen in individuals decades younger. This discovery represents a fundamental shift in how we approach cardiovascular health after 60. Instead of focusing solely on making the heart work harder through exercise, we can focus on helping the heart work smarter through optimal nervous system function. The heart is not just a mechanical pump. It's a sophisticated organ intimately connected to your nervous system, and optimizing that connection through controlled breathing may be the most effective way to prevent heart disease in the senior years. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity and sustainability. Unlike exercise programs that can become increasingly difficult to maintain as we age, breathing practice becomes easier and more beneficial over time. There are no gym memberships to maintain, no weather conditions to worry about, and no risk of injury. You simply need 10 minutes of your day and the commitment to breathe with intention. As we conclude, remember that the most powerful tools for health are often the simplest ones. Your breath is always with you, always available, and always ready to provide profound cardiovascular protection. While the medical community has spent decades focusing on complex interventions and expensive treatments, the solution to preventing heart disease after 60 may have been with us all along, hiding in the simple act of breathing with awareness and intention. The research is clear, the technique is simple, and the benefits are immediate. 10 minutos de respiración controlada cada día pueden proporcionar más protección cardiovascular que horas de ejercicio tradicional, con ninguno de los riesgos and all of the accessibility that seniors need. Your heart has been beating faithfully for decades. Now it's time to give it the nervous system support it needs to keep beating healthily for decades to come.